Thank you, Anand. Good day, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for me to be here to share uh, the topics could be uh, very interesting for all of you, but I will not talk about technology. I will not talk about uh, high-tech one, but instead I will talk about a very fundamental, very principle, very basic for a retail business. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm a consultant, a trainer, and also author of 9 books of Retail Excellence series. I will show you my book at the end of my presentation. 10 fail-proof formulas for retail business. This is based on my experience advising retailers all over Indonesia. Compared to India, one big continent, I think, part of continent, Indonesia is most of them are islands, big islands, small island, 11,000, more than 11,000 islands. So in Indonesia, technology is not so fast as you think in India or in every part of the country. What is the biggest issue we have? What is the sexiest issue? The current situation. Online disruption, retail industry. Is it true? 100% true? Who agreed about this? That e-commerce, online disrupt our industry. Who agreed about this? Why not so many? Because this issue lately become the sexiest issue. I think since morning we have this issue, and most of us believe that online e-commerce disrupt our industry. 10 years ago, I heard that online will make offline business close. And then 3 years after, they revised the statement that the online, the offline business, the brick and mortar will be still exist. And then we have a strong competition. Do strong competition fail us? According to my experience, I will say no. Most of the cases, it is because retailers do not have strong foundation. Same like if you want to build very high building, first of all, you should make sure you have very strong foundation before you build very high building. Same like in business. If you don't have very strong foundation, you will disappear. You will fail at the end. So, according to me, what I found lately, it is a self-mistake. Like if you play a badminton, you give serve, and the ball is not inside the field. It's out. You make a smash, it hit the net, not to the space it should be. So I will share with you all the principal things in retail business. I call it 10 formulas. Even though there is no single formula for our business, but at least if you do these 10 formulas, you will not fail in running your business. In retail business, we have two drivers. First one is merchandising with all the components. These 5 points. The other side is operation with all the components. I remember that Sam Walton, the founder of the biggest retailer in the world, he said these 2 things, and I do agree with his opinion about how to run successful retail business. Maybe you see me as quite old or traditional retailer. I am, because I do believe whatever your business, online or offline retailer, you should solve all of these points to be successful retailer, no matter what your business will be. First one, merchandising. What is the role of merchandising? It is the heart of the company, the heart which distribute the blood all over every part of your body. Same, merchandising. Pump the merchandise to your store. It determines your store, the face of your store. What will be your store looked by the customer, your target market. What is the main job and responsibilities of a merchandiser? If you want to recruit a merchandiser, I will accompany my client to interview merchandiser, and if you ask the candidate, what is your job, your main job and responsibilities if you want to be a merchandiser, a successful merchandiser, most of them cannot explain what is their main job. So, this is to make sure that your merchandising consists of the people who understand the competency to be a merchandiser. This is their job. Sourcing, selecting supplier and merchandises. This is in sequence actually. And then you negotiate with the supplier who has the merchandise before you decide what to buy, how many to buy. After you buy, you will set up the margin, how much you will set the price, and what margin you will have. Based on your negotiation, there is another job of a merchandiser. There is income generator. When you negotiate a trading term, you will set up the target together with your partner, and in return, you will have other income. This become a normal practice lately as a main job of a merchandiser. And the last one, to review whatever you did from the first time, sourcing, selecting, negotiate, buying, margin setup, income generator. You should review whatever you have done. You cannot just do your job and never review if you are in a good track. I will continue to make you more follow me what I mean. Supplier, this is where you get the merchandise from, right? And we call them, it's not just a seller. Supplier is our partner. The question is, what is the proof that they are your partner? What is the proof? They and us have same objective, right? They have goods to distribute to end consumer through us. So we and the supplier have the same objective. That's why, what is real partnership? Real partnership, if you have business agreement, a trading term. Based on my experience advising my clients, they are just waiting. Retailer just waiting. Supplier come to you, over you, a business agreement. I don't think that it should be. Retailers should have the initiative of business agreement, not let the suppliers do it for you. If the suppliers do it for you, of course, most of the term, most of the agreement will be for the sake of the suppliers, not for the sake of you as a retailer. If you want to build a real partnership, you have to have initiative to make agreement, real agreement. Without the agreement, your relationship like sellers and buyers. They have goods, sell to you, and you buy it from them. Next, variety and assortment. Variety and assortment determine the face of our store. What our store is called. Toy shop, department store, supermarket, hypermarket is built on because of variety and assortment. Variety is the categories you bring in your store. How many categories you bring in your store. And assortment is the total items inside the category. Variety and assortment determine the face of your store. What is the definition of complete in front of your customer, whatever your retail business? You are complete when you answer the needs of your customers. It's not really depend on how big your store, how many assortment you have, but whether you answer the needs of your customer. Your variety and assortment are your differentiation. Most of us normally will look at our competitor. Whatever they sell, we should sell. Whatever they have, we should have. If you do this, so you don't have differentiation, you will be the same store as your competitor. So your variety and assortment should be your strength, should be part of your differentiation. You cannot be the same as your customer all the time. Choose what make you strong in terms of variety and assortment. Next is inventory. Inventory, merchandises form our inventories. What is the basic principle of inventory management? I said 2 words only, just enough. You don't make overstock, you don't make understock. Because this is our biggest issue in inventory handling. Because why? Most of the time, we are out of stock in fast-moving items. On the other side, we are overstocked in slow-moving items. Is it true or not? Is it true or not? Yes. So first of all, if you have inventory, make sure you know what are the fast-moving items and which one are the slow-moving items. Split them, then you maintain never out of stock in fast-moving items. I have do research in many of my clients. 3 to 5% unavailable, out of stock in fast-moving item, you will still can achieve 97 up to 100% of your target. But if you're out of stock in fast-moving items more than 5%, then most probably you will far below your target. Could be only below 80%. As their consultant, I monitor every day their achievement of target. And I found this. I make a research. If you can maintain fast-moving item, the out of stock, not more than 5%, you are probably will achieve your target. And what about the overstock in slow-moving items? Sorry, I should back to, if you are out of stock in fast-moving item, you are not only losing your sales, but you will losing your customer as well. Because once they come to your store, once they come to your website, if you are in e-commerce, if you are out of stock, once, maybe they will forgive you. Second, they will consider you are unreliable and they will leave. What is the difference? Offline store and online store, they are all the same. I have experience. I was looking something in one website, e-commerce. I cannot find it. One time, second time, forget it. In my mind, this online store do not have the items I was looking for. Same like in offline store. Once they forgive you, second time, they will assume that you are unreliable and I will move. As the previous speaker said that customer think that all the retailers are the same. So this information is new for me, but it is dangerous for our business. If they think every retailer are the same, it's very dangerous if you out of stock in the item they really like. Now the overstock in slow-moving items. If you have overstock in slow-moving items, it is for sure you will have cash flow problem, right? You will have cash flow problem. And the most important thing that you cannot buy fast-moving item because your working capital is there in slow-moving items. If you don't flush them, that's why we found discount, big sale, because they want to flush the slow-moving items. My advice, before it's happened, please be careful when you buy item. You should know which one fast-moving items, which one slow-moving items, and never make a mistake to order a huge overstock in slow-moving items. We should be very careful when you buy. This is the competency of a merchandiser, as I said at the first slide. Price. The role of pricing policy. The price determines your margin. The price you set up determines your margin. How much margin you will have. The price also forms the customer perception. If you always give the high price, then they will perceive that you are expensive store. That's why most of the retailers use the price factors as the tool to face the competitor. They easily make the price low to make perception that they are cheap store. But if you always do that, then you lose margin. You will not enough to cover your operation expenses, right? To form cheap perception, again, you should know what are important for your customer. Your customer has limitation to remember the price. They just remember the items that they always buy. That's why we should focus on the top items of your fast moving, because that are the items your customer remember. You don't need to kill all the items, the price of most of your items. You just have to take care of top items, because that items your customer remember. Do you do a price survey regularly to your competitor? If you don't, you cannot make cheap perception in your customer. I've experienced when I work for Carrefour, when we were first time come to Indonesia, we actually don't have a real or same size competitors. Actually, we have a Macro, but Macro in wholesaler, while Carrefour in retail, hypermarket. So actually, we don't have a real competitor at the market, but at that time, we see everybody as our competitor. So regularly, we make price survey to the closest store that we assume as our competitor regularly, every week. And we never lose for the top items in our fast-moving items. We did it consistently, persistently, and we win the perception in our customers that we are the cheapest. Because the biggest challenge for Carrefour at that time, we have big store, huge, very bright, and customer think that we must be expensive store. And we fight for that, for it. We do price survey regularly until nobody can say that our price is expensive. Price also differentiate the class you serve. If you are high-end retailer, I think you don't need to do price survey, right? If you are really serve high-end market, you don't need to talk about the price. What they need are quality. The quality, exclusive items, very good service, outstanding service. That's all the trade-off for the price. They don't care about the price. But again, the assortment should be exclusive, should be first quality, the availability. You never miss the most important items, the fast-moving one. You never out of stock. And the service, you should be very good at your service. If all are the same, then you have to fight in price. Whatever. If your store, your ambience, your assortment, your variety, your service is all the same, then you have to fight in price. I do not know. This is very normal for retailer. If they want to fight the competitor, they go to the price. That's already a normal habit. Me, I don't agree. For me, price is not the only thing you have to fight. Next, on the other side, we will talk about the operation and with all the components. Operation, if merchandising is our heart, operation are our five senses, our eyes. The operation team see the customer, greet them. The nose, smell your store, the environment, your ears, because you talk to the customer with your mouth and you listen. What are their needs? What is the most dangerous if we really depend on technology? You will lose human touch. And this is what you have when you are not so big, when you are small scale or medium enterprise. You should never lose your human touch. I have one client in north part of Indonesia, in Sulawesi. It's called Manado. We have all retailers come to Manado. Big retailers all come to Manado because Manado is one of the most successful city in east part of Indonesia. When we prepare the store, I know exactly that all the big players will come to Manado. And what should they do? My client is not a big player. They are a local retailer. What is our differentiation to face the competition? I said you should never lose your human touch. And that's what they do until now. So, operation is our five senses plus our hands, our feet, because we help customer who come to our store. Same like merchandising, I also want to stress that in operation, they should know what is the main job and the responsibilities of operation team. Sales and profitability. This is our main purpose, our main objective. Next is human resource handling, because you manage people. Inventory handling, asset handling, and service. If we talk about effective and efficient, I would say that number one, sales and profitability is how we measure our effectiveness. If you can achieve your sales and as well as your profitability, then you are effective. Number 2, 3, 4, 5 are how you achieve sales and profitability. Or I will say how you measure your efficiency towards the achievement of sales and profitability. So if you want to be effective and efficient, they are all there. People. We have people to bring, to serve, to be your 5 cents, to be your hands, and to be your feet. People you recruit bring their own personal culture, personal character. Now, do you have corporate culture? Do you have corporate culture? Because you collect a lot of people to come to your company, but they bring their own personal culture. So do you have corporate culture? Management should determine its corporate culture. Otherwise, employees will. The sign of the company that it is not the corporate culture who run the company is when you as the boss, as the manager, as the director start to complain about your people. Complain about this and that about your people. People don't do that, people don't do this. It is because they don't follow your corporate culture. They run their own culture. So, if a client invite me to give the consultation session, then the first day I will sit together with them to talk about what is your corporate culture. Because the end of the day, they will complain about their people. It is very common. I now become very normal to hear that please do not expect our people here in this area because people here are different compared to other city. And every part of Indonesia, I will go from the west part to the east part. They will say that please give your understanding because we are not so good. Our people are not educated and whatsoever. I will say that everywhere you will face the same problem, not specifically in that area. It's normal everywhere. I think not only in Indonesia, right? Also in India, we will have the same problem that are people problem. But I advise every company should really determine what is your corporate culture, what is your values to form your corporate culture. And then you should have organization structure who describe all the functions you should have in a company. Because most of the time, the organization structure is not ready. sometimes even wrong. Sometimes you don't have certain function. Sometimes I made that they make into one merchandising and operation, become one box, in one box. While I told you that this is a different part, merchandising and operation should be split. They are counterpart. They work together closely, but they are not one. They should be counterpart. Because merchandising cannot complain themselves if they make a mistake. They need another party, operation, to be their counterpart, to say what they know from the customer. Because merchandising cannot blame themselves because of their own mistake. If I bought a wrong items, and who will control me if I also the operation and I fail to make a sale? I will not. That's why organization structure become a critical point. Do your organization structure describe all the important function inside your company? For example, do you have marketing and communication in your organization structure? Normally, small, medium enterprise, they don't think to have marketing and communication. Another thing, do you have business development? What for, they said. What for? It means you don't have any plan to grow if you don't have business development. Okay, I can do it myself, said the boss. Okay, if you do it all yourself, then you will, if you cannot do it, you will leave it. That's the way they manage, the way they said that I can do it. But in fact, when they are overloaded, they will leave what they cannot handle. Yes? Okay. Hire the best, the right man on the right place. After you set up the organization structure, then you should put the right man for every position. Not every man can handle a position. The right man on the right place. Loss prevention. Shrinkage is happen in every part of our business, right? We are facing very strong competition. Your margin are going low, and shrinkage will be your threat then. This is the part that shrinkage will happen. Basically, in every part of your business, even after the shopping process, post-shopping, you will have a shrinkage. Here are the data. Forgive me, I cannot provide you the really newest one, but I have 2014 to 2015 data. We are in Asia Pacific. We have 1.17% shrinkage. This value, this percentage to the total sales. And if you see the value, it's huge, right? Now you can calculate how much your sales, and can you afford to lose 1% of your sales? If you look at the table below, you will see that compared to the year before, 2013 to 2014, in 2014 up to 2015, all in general increase except Europe. We are in Asia Pacific, we also increase from 0.9 to 1.11. And now, global retail shrinkage by source. there are four main shrinkage cause or source. The first one, if you compare 2013-14 to 2014-2015, dishonest employee theft increased from 28% to 39%. Big increasing. That's why I stress corporate culture. Determine your corporate culture. This is why. Because the biggest shrinkage come from dishonest employee. Shoplifting, number 2, 38%, vendor fraud, 7%, and administration or non-crime loss, 16%. If you see the dark green, this and this, it is our internal problem, right? Dishonest employee and administrative. That's not external factor, that's internal factor. It should be under our control, not other party control. But there are more than 50% of the shrinkage caused by internal factor. That's why, to prevent, moral approach, speak to your people, moral approach. It is still relevant lately. Next, greet the customer. It is some Walton who are strongly demand greet the customer. It's not only make your store become warm, but it is also proven to prevent the shoplifting. SOP and training. Whatever you do, you should have standard operating procedure and then train people because it contributes your internal factor. You will lose because you don't have clear standard operating procedure and you don't train your people. Technology. Technology will help you a lot to prevent loss. Service is not just a smile, greeting. It's just a very basic form of service. Service starts even before the customer arrives at your store. Knowing customer expectation, ask your customer, give them the widest possible access to reach you, to give you, to inform you what they want. Then exceed the customer expectation. Last one, I think I have 45 minutes. Oh, okay. Competition. Competition is good. I think you are agree. When you are a market leader or as a challenger, it's not so different for you. You should do your best. Never underestimate your enemy or your competitor. Keep your eyes on your competitor. Build emotional relationship with your customer. And this is 3 tips from me to face the competition. Be ready, be continuous learner, and give your best before the competitor come. This will end my presentation. Sorry for the time. And this is my Retail Excellence series books. And thank you very much.